And the question number 15 is how to approach candidate if the salary range that you are offering is lower than the candidate's expected salary. And this is a question a fellow tech recruiter asked during the program of the tech recruitment program, during the program when we learn how to engage with IT professionals. And that's very common concern, right? And I get it. I have encountered it several times, especially in the last probably half a year, because the expectations of developers elevate, especially because they can work remotely for any company on the world. So there are developers in, for example, Eastern Europe who are just looking around and wonder, oh my God, why I'm still working remotely for this company across the street if I can work remotely for any company around the world and earn twice as much money. So the salary concern is very valid, and I get it. Even when I was the CTO, people were asking about their salary. But at the end of the day, it's not just about salary. So now I would like to bring to your attention some more aspects of the offer, and even though they are sort of obvious, I'll walk you through how do I sell a particular job opportunity to candidates so they get excited. Okay, so first, why the candidate should join? At first I need to be sold on this opportunity. I need to know why this is a great opportunity. What is so cool about the opportunity? Is it just the salary? If not, no worries. There are other ways how to get developers excited. So thinking about compensation, for example, there is ESOP, equity stock option plan, which some startups offer to compensate the relatively low, not just low, but a rather lower fixed amount they pay. Okay, so even if you have a candidate who earns, I don't know, 6,000 euros per month, you can offer him hey, I have a client here who is able to offer you 5,500, but they are willing to give you ESOP, and the ESOP could be much more valuable than the 500 euros cash right now. So this is also one of the ways how you as a recruiter can play with this, how you can engage with candidates and make fun of it a little. I'm not saying, make fun of it for the sake of having fun, but enjoy the process, play with candidates, introduce them these strategies. There was one candidate who didn't really know what was ESOP just a month ago, so I was walking him through the process, helping him understand that ESOP is really valuable and he should actually want it and fight for it. Okay, so that's just one part of it, the compensation. Where's my red marker? It's right here. Okay, so I would focus on ESOP. If your fixed amount is rather low, then focus on ESOP. If there is no ESOP, then you can progress to these other stages. For example, the growth opportunity. But please don't just say there is some growth opportunity, because it's very vague and every company around the world says, we want our people to learn and grow. It just doesn't really help anyone with anything. It's just cliche, right? So focus on something tangible, something that they can really understand. So, for example, what could be interesting is the progression, career progression. So, as an example, during one of the previous webinars with fellow recruiters, we were looking at the job requirement and thinking, who could this be a good career step for? So they were looking for a QA engineer, data QA engineer, and we were thinking, hey, this is not really an exciting role. They don't pay huge amounts of money. So how to get someone? Who could this be a good career step for? And there are people who are, for example, IT support specialists who see that as a career progression. So from the IT support specialist, they enter the data engineering world as data engineering testers, data testers, data quality engineers. So for them, it's a great career progression, even for lower money, but they can progress their career from a support specialist to a data engineer, there is this middle step being a data quality engineer, but then they would be in 2 years or 3 years from now. Okay, so this is how you can offer and sell this opportunity to IT professionals on the market. Next, for example, team. Are there any senior superstars on the team? Is there anyone interesting on the team? Like, there is one client of ours who has several open source contributors on the team, and it's just so cool to say to someone on a call, like, hey, I'm working with this and this team, and the team is full of open source contributors. You could learn a lot from them, and suddenly, people are interested. So this is a very good selling point if there is anyone a senior on the team, or probably a great CTO who has been in the trenches for 15, 20 years, someone to learn from, some seniors. So the team is also important. The project or a product, maybe I could write it here, project or product. So in a product-centric company, it would be the product. In a larger corporation, it could be the project that could be interesting for some reason. Or maybe in an agency, they may have some really cool project to work on for the next 6 or 12 months. So you can always focus on this as something that gets the attention. You can say, hey, we are working for this client. They have really, really cool project in the pipeline. They are about to create a new platform for IoT devices or whatever. I'm just making it up. But something that is interesting. Or product. For example, when I was the CTO in our previous company, I was always focusing on our product. Why our product is cool, why is it unique, why people on the market love it, what is the technology used to make the product work. So the product was the driver. Or the company. Is the company interesting? Has the company fundraised and it is popular in the particular area? Like, for example, in the town where I live, it's not my hometown, but in the town where I live right now, there are some companies that are very popular because they are, creating this buzz, a positive buzz around them. So everyone sort of gravitates towards them and they want to join this company. So if the company is cool, you can just tell, hey, I'm working with this company. They have passed their Series B funding and they are expanding the team. They are doubling the team. You will have lots of opportunities to learn how to do X, Y, and Z, and you will be able to help them transition from the small company to an international company. They are expanding their team. They are expanding to a different location. You can come up with these stories. I'm not saying make them up, but discuss with your hiring manager to identify what is really interesting about the company. Why do people like working in the company right now? What is so interesting, so unique about it? And highlight it. Or the technology. What is so interesting about the technical stack? What technologies do they use? What's the adoption of the best practices in the company? So this is all that you can use to your advantage as an IT recruiter to get developers interested, especially if the salary range is lower than the candidate's expectations. So you find something else that offsets it. Okay, and if you don't recall all this, then remember there are these mind maps that make it easier for you. So on the page number 23 in the booklet, so this is, by the way, the booklet, if you haven't seen it yet, this is the IT Recruiter Mind Maps booklet with about 30 mind maps for IT recruiters, for IT professionals, to help other people to, structure the thoughts about IT. I don't recall all the IT terminology myself after 17 years in IT, so there is very little chance that people who transition would remember it. And that's why I have created this booklet with all these mind maps. And on the page number 23, you can find this mind map on a more detailed level. So what are the developer personas? What are the company stereotypes? And then how to get them excited. So what are developers interested in? So who are the developers? What interests them? The technical stack, the work methodology, team, project, the type of engagement. And it breaks down further. Okay, so you can get this booklet on our website. Just go to itrecruitermindmaps.com and get this booklet as a PDF. Print it out and use it. It will help you structure your thoughts. So next time when the salary is lower than expected, you know that you still have a range of other options that you can use to your advantage to highlight and get the developer excited. Because we in recruitment need to focus more on marketing, on sales, because software development is just becoming a commodity these days. Anyone can do it. Anyone who can do it. Well, that's deep, right? So anyone who learned how to do it. People don't need to go to an office these days. People can work remotely, and people from United States or from Croatia or from India can deliver the same code using the same methods, using the same tools. So they have lots of opportunities, and that's why we recruiters need to do a better job in identifying who could be a good fit and how to get them excited. If salary is not the thing, no worries. You can still focus on ESOP or the growth opportunity. Who is it a good next career step for? What about the team? Is there anyone super cool to work with? Or what about the project or the product? Is there something special about it? And there usually is, right? And what about the company? How big is the company? What's so cool and unique about them? And what about the technical stack? Do they use something really cool and innovative, some high tech? It will be really easy. So with that, I'll wrap it up. If you would like to get better at IT recruitment, then join the Tech Recruitment Academy. We organize lots of webinars and training programs, sourcing webinars, so you'll learn how to source developers. You will understand the IT vocabulary, so you can talk to the hiring managers as well as talk to the IT professionals, candidates. So this will be really cool, and this will help you transition from non-tech recruitment to IT recruitment. Or if you are already an IT recruiter, it will expand your horizons, because we focus on how to write more compelling JDs, how to get candidates excited about the opportunity at hand. Or you can learn how to, for example, recruit blockchain developers or cybersecurity engineers. So the whole IT landscape is so exciting. So I hope you will have a chance to join us at the techrecruitmentacademy.com. You can get the mind maps, you can get some other materials. We have lots of video courses, lots of materials, supportive community to help you become successful tech recruiter. So join us, just click the link below, and I'll see you inside the Tech Recruitment Academy.